Because you said you let go of your fear when you go halfway, you meet God halfway,
Yeah.
and then you have to let go of the fear.
Yeah, because the only attachment that we truly have is the attachment to our separate identity, to our false identity. And it is, this attachment is in fact a distortion of our love. Our natural love is love of the self for the self. You know, like Yajnavalkya in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, he says to his wife, it is not for the sake of the wife that the wife is loved. It is for the sake of the self that the wife is loved. It is not for the sake of the son that the son is loved. It is for the sake of the self that the son is loved. So the real attachment is to the self. It is the attachment of the self to the self, which is the love of the self for the self. When it gets distorted, it becomes love of the self for something else, for an object which is portrayed as being the self, like a limited body-mind, like a human being. So that's the mother of all attachments, is the attachment to the jiva, right, to the person. And it is this attachment that we don't want to release. This attachment is accompanied with fear that if we let go of it, we are going to disappear. Because we identify with it. You see? And if we let go of it, we are going to die. We are going to disappear somehow. And when we get close to letting go of it, then this fear becomes intense. We don't want to look there. You can see there are people, they cannot stand silence. I remember I had a boss, you know, and he would ask me a question. And I was doing my best to answer the question, and I would think, you know. And so there was a moment of silence. And he would say, and come on. And this guy was smart, and I was smart, and we were among smart people, and we both knew that in order to come with the right answer, sometimes you need to think. You know, and you need to investigate, and then you... But in spite of the fact that he knew that, this silence for him was unbearable. You see, because you freak out in the silence, because in the silence, you may discover that you are not what you believe to be. You may discover that you are something else. You see? So that's the fear I am talking about. It is the we live in a conflict in that sense, that we, at the same time, have the desire to know who we are, and we have at the same time the opposite desire. The opposite. We would like to know what we are, and we are afraid of discovering it. And there is that's that which I was expressing in this type of balance between two forces. But the beauty is that one of these forces can only diminish, whereas the other force can only grow. You see? In other words, the force that takes us towards the truth can only grow. If something is true, it can only become more manifest. You can obfuscate it in the beginning. You can play like politicians. You know, you can hide it here and there and there and there, and then, but you have to cover up. But after sometimes, it comes out. You see, it is said something Jesus said in in the Thomas Gospel, that which is covered will be uncovered. The truth that has been hidden at some point. Why? Because the truth is eternal, and the untruth is only temporary. That's why the truth can only grow. It is the same thing. The example I often choose, let's take this guy, he's cheating on his wife, right? She doesn't know it. One day, she finds this blonde hair on his jacket, after he comes back from this late meeting at work. She finds this blonde hair, and she is a brunette, right? So she begins to have some doubts, about this late meeting at work. And she asks him, the secretary, what's the color of her hair? And the guy says, she's a brunette. And she says, I see. And any other blonde in the office? No. I see. And then, so the truth from that moment on, a mechanism has been set in motion that you cannot put the genie back in the box. It's out of the box. The truth, when the truth has begun to come out of the box, there is no way you can put it back into the box, in other words. So that's why this process is irreversible. No matter, and that's the beauty of it, that in the beginning, when you are skeptic about the truth, and it seems to be that it is far-fetched, when you hear it, oh, come on, this guy, Francis, he's nuts, And all these guys, they are fools, they are completely brainwashed by this Indian philosophy, whatever, and they are complete nuts, But nevertheless, once you have heard it, you can try to cover it as much as you want. The blonde hair has been discovered.